Our face is essentially a toilet, and our pores are like lots of little bum holes excreting waste and toxins from our body. Sorry to put it so bluntly and make it sound so disgusting, but I can't think of a more straightforward way to put it. So when we get backed up in other areas of our body, these toxins will start to look for other places to excrete, and that will most likely either be the bottom of our feet, our underarms, or a lot of the time it's our face. And this is the main cause of acne, as well as hormonal imbalances and overproduction of oil and sebum in the skin. So when someone tells you that they've healed their acne through a skincare regime, then they're lying. Of course it plays a part and it can help to keep our acne under control to a degree, but it can't actually heal the root cause of the problem, which will usually stem from the gut. And that's why it's so important to treat things like acne from both the inside of the body and the outside of the body at the same time. So I've been using mushrooms to treat my skin. I've been using 3 powerhouses, which is Reishi, Shiitake and Tremella. So what the Reishi does is it actually helps to balance out our hormones. It helps to prevent testosterone being converted into DHT, which is 5 times stronger than testosterone, which is often responsible for the breakouts around our chin and our jawline and sometimes down the neck. And this can often affect people who have PCOS. So this is an incredible mushroom to take if you have PCOS, because it will also help with things like over excessive hair growth and other symptoms that you might have from PCOS. So that can help to regulate the hormones in the skin. It's also antibacterial as well, so it can help to fight off the bacteria that can cause acne, and it's also anti-inflammatory. So reishi is an incredible mushroom for people with acne. And then shiitake is another wonderful mushroom. So it has plenty of antioxidants. Antioxidants basically protect our skin from free radicals, which are unstable molecules in the environment that try to attack our skin, and they can cause premature aging. So it's great for anti-aging, but what that also means is that we have more elasticity for healing pitted scarring. And also it has kojic acid in it, and kojic acid helps with pigmentation. So when we get those pink spots left after a spot is healing, kojic acid can actually help to even that out and get our skin back to its usual colour. So shiitake is incredible for kind of the after effects of acne, but it's also antibacterial and antifungal, so it can kill bacteria and fungi that attack our skin and can create skin infections and acne, which is kind of ironic considering it is a fungi itself. And then we have Tremella, which is best known for its hydrating benefits. So it's actually the #1 competitor for hyaluronic acid, since it's been found by some scientists, because there's several different scientists all posting completely different information about this mushroom at the moment, since it's so new, the information is so new. But some of the research has shown that it can retain up to 5 times the amount of water weight as hyaluronic acid, which is one of the top leading ingredients in the skincare world at the moment when it comes to hydration and plumping the skin. But what is a confirmed fact, which is 100% true, is that Tremella is actually a much smaller molecule than hyaluronic acid, which means it can travel deeper into the skin and it can affect those deep layers that are going to come up and greet you in several years' time. So it's good to be kind to them now so that they can be kind to you later on. The great thing about the Tremella mushroom is that it's also anti-inflammatory and it can soothe redness, and because a lot of the acne scarring, the red colour, as you'll know if you have acne scarring yourself, it can take a really long time to heal because it's so deep in the skin. But because the Tremella mushroom can actually travel really deep into the skin, it can actually heal those deeper layers of redness, because sometimes it's really difficult to treat that when most ingredients will kind of sit in more shallow areas of the skin, and they'll help to treat the redness to an extent, but they can't get so deep down to get those bottom layers which are like waiting to come up to the surface. And that actually means that the redness can actually take a little bit longer, making it more red before it gets clearer, because if the spot is really deep in the skin, then it can be a very mild pinkness at the time that you heal from the spot, and then like 2 months later it might get darker because the darkest layer might have actually been a couple of layers deeper in the skin. So you might be like, why have I suddenly got this scar come out of nowhere, like why has it got worse? And that's the reason why, because the trauma might have actually been quite deep inside the skin. skin. So that's another great benefit of Tremella. What I love the most about Tremella, being someone who has had acne, is I've always wanted that glossy, shiny glow on my skin, but that usually comes from oil. And greasy products. So I've always avoided it because I don't want to compromise the clarity of my skin, and I don't want to end up breaking out from using these kinds of products. But Tremella is 100% oil free, but it leaves a film across the skin, which is actually a protective barrier, but it also gives that kind of glossy effect when you turn your head. It looks shiny in a similar way that oil-based products look. And having acne can be so frustrating, or even just oily skin, because everyone else has this lovely dewy skin and it looks so shiny, and we're like, oh, I have to have all these like mattifying products and kind of avoid that shiny look. And also sometimes when we've still got lots of breakouts, we don't actually want the shine because we don't want to attract to our breakouts. So once we've cleaned up these breakouts using the Reishi and the Shiitake, using the Tremella can feel so good because we finally get to have shiny skin with like a dewy, glowy look, which for most people who've had oily and acne skin is like, wow, it's like a miracle. Like, I never thought I would have a product that can give me a shiny and dewy glow without breaking out my skin. So that's the best thing for me. And the other thing is actually how it treats the under eyes. So this serum is for the skin, for the face and the eye area, and I usually avoid most eye creams because if you think about it, this layer of skin is extremely thin and delicate, so when you're packing it with product, that product then has weight which allows gravity to pull on that area of skin underneath your eyes, and it can actually create a bag. So sometimes you can put an eye on before bed, some people even put a serum and an eye cream on, and the next morning you wake up with a bigger bag than you had the night before, and you might question, why have my eye bags got worse when I've used this eye cream when it's actually supposed to treat them and make them smoother? And that's the reason why. But also, if you think of a regular bag, like a Waitrose bag for example, if you pour a lot of water into a Waitrose bag, it's going to puff out. It's not going to get flatter and smoother, it's going to get bigger. So a lot of eye creams can actually make it so much worse. So I generally tend to only use things that really tighten the skin without plumping up too much. And this has been fantastic for my under eye area because of the Tremella and the Shiitake really tightening the skin instead of puffing it up. And because it travels quite deep, it's not just sitting around on the surface of the skin waiting for gravity to pull it down. It's actually being absorbed and used by the skin. So that's why I've managed to smooth out a lot of the puffiness and the fine lines underneath my eyes without creating that big puffy bag underneath. So that's one of my favourite things about this this mushroom serum. And the moisturiser actually is what creates that film over the skin, because the serum goes quite deep into the skin, so it really plumps it out and it gives it that natural healthy look, a little bit deeper in the skin, so it's kind of like a matte shine. But then once you've put the moisturiser over the top, that's what really creates that film that gives that really glossy dewy look. Not everyone loves that look, but I love that look. So, and this is actually for all skin types, so it's for oily skin, it's for dry skin, it's for all different skin types. People with extra dry skin can put a little bit of a balm into it, just to give it a little bit more of like an oilier texture for people who love oil on their skin. But it is supposed to be for like everyone, so that's why it still has that like nice hydration and gloss without being able to cause breakouts or make your skin feel greasy. So that's why this mushroom range is incredible for acne, to both eat the nutritional products and also to put the topical products on the skin.